Good morning. My name is CW3 Cobb Adams, and I will be your MC for today's virtual blessing. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, all social distancing and gathering protocol will be followed for today's virtual event. Our thanks also goes out to the host of our event, the Adjutant General of the State of Hawaii, Major General Kenneth Hara. At this time, we'd like to recognize the following distinguished visitors: Major General Retired Gary Hara, Major General Retired Rick Richardson, Brigadier General Moses Kawivi, Brigadier General Retired Erwin Cockett, Brigadier General Ray Davis, Colonel Stephen Logan, Colonel Roger Pukahi, Colonel R.J. Garcia, Colonel Retired Eugene Young, Colonel Retired Orland Peterson, CW5 Edwin Parubru, CW5 Retired Charles Gustafsson, Chief Master Sergeant Edward T. Essman, Chief Master Sergeant Russell Dukeson, and Mr. Jeffrey Grant. All individuals were integral in the success of our C-12 coming to Hawaii. On behalf of Major General Hara and the soldiers of the Hawaii Army National Guard, thank you all for attending today's blessing of our King Air C-12 uniform and the newest addition to Harang aviation capability. As a reminder, military members will not salute during the national anthem and Ho'oponopono, as this is an indoor event. Please stand for the national anthem and Ho'oponopono and remain standing for the invocation by Kahu Cordell Kekoa.
E puli kako. O keia no kala a Yehova I hanai ai. E haoli kako a e lea lea I laila. Mahalo kia kua for this beautiful day that you have blessed us with. Kia kua, as we bring this C-12 to our ohana, we ask your Aloha Spirit upon everything through these few minutes that we celebrate. Again, even amidst certain things like a pandemic, there's still joy that happens around us, such as bringing in a cousin aircraft. So we ask your Aloha Spirit in these few moments we share together. Amen. No kia kua pau. Amen. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Mahalo kahu kikoa. A blessing in Hawaii would not be complete without a kahu. Let me share some things about the kahu today. Kahu Cordell Kekoa is the father of 4 grown children. Born and raised in Hawaii, his calling to minister to the people of Hawaii, and specifically to the youth of Hawaii, was deep-seated, which in turn inspired him to educate and eventually become the kahu, or chaplain of Kamehameha Schools, Kapa'alama. He has done many of our ceremonies for our military ohana and for all branches of service. Mahalo.
Mahalo.
The official party for today's ceremony is Major General Kenneth Hara, the Adjutant General, State of Hawaii, Lieutenant Colonel Byron Cadiz, State Army Aviation Officer, CW4 Dean Kozel, Commander, Det 3 Charlie Company, 2nd of the 641st Aviation Regiment. And our keynote speaker for today is CW5 retired Charles Gustafsson. Today's blessing marks the culmination of over 2 years of coordination and cooperation between multiple agencies and individuals, some of whom are here or viewing virtually today. Through exceptional teamwork between National Guard Bureau, Operational Support Airlift Activity, or OSA, DynCorp Contract Fixed Wing Maintenance Support, the U.S. Navy, Hawaii Air National Guard, and the Hawaii Army National Guard, thanks to the outstanding teamwork between these agencies, the reality of Hawaii fixed wing capabilities once again in the state of Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I would like to invite our keynote speaker, CW5 retired Charles Gustafsson, for a few words.
Good morning. I was invited to say a few words here for Detachment Number 3 C-12 Aircraft Dedication Ceremony, and I would like to express that I am honored to do so. I would also like to acknowledge our former and current Army Air National Guard leadership, soldiers, airmen, and civilian personnel that participated and contributed to the Hawaii Army National Guard's fixed wing aviation program over the years and decades. It's unfortunate that these key personnel are not able to attend this ceremony here today, but we have you in our thoughts. Your efforts helped facilitate the Hawaii Army National Guard Aviation Fixed Wing Program achieve our operational mission, safety, and training goals and challenges. When I first joined the Hawaii Army National Guard in 1986, I signed on as the OH-58 SIP-IE at the ASF-1 Wheeler Army Airfield, assigned to 193rd Aviation. Shortly thereafter, I attended the fixed wing multi-engine qualification course at Fort Rucker, Alabama. And in early 1992, I began flying the headquarters Stark U-21, serial number 6718127, which was the military version of the early model of the Beechcraft A-90 unpressurized King Air, capable of carrying approximately 5 to 6 passengers. Soon in June 1992, we received our brand new Fairchild Swear Engine 18-passenger C-26B Metroliner, also known throughout the state as PAT 515. The C-26B was due to replace our U-21 shortly after its arrival. During that summer of 1992, air crews were getting qualified in the C-26, and preparations were in progress to return the U-21 to the mainland for disposition and retirement. Those plans came to a halt on September 11th and 12th, 1992, when Hurricane Iniki struck our islands, bringing devastation to Kauai. Immediately after the storm's passage, our U-21, our C-26, and our rotary wing assets began relief efforts for Kauai, transporting personnel, equipment, supplies, food, and water. We evacuated visitors who were stranded on Kauai, and as they had no shelter, no place else to go. These daily missions, continued relief missions, lasted well into December of 1992. On 30 December 1992, we finally had to sign over our beloved U-21 to the ferry crew at Hickam Air Force Base that returned the U-21 to the mainland. It was a sad event. We then pressed on with our expanding our capabilities and operations with the C-26B. Over the next 26 years with the C-26 and the later E-Series upgrade, our detachment personnel participated in many varied operations and deployments throughout the world. While in Hawaii, besides routine operational support missions and training missions, air crews were pressed into action on the aftermath of 9/11. Also, Big Island earthquakes, tsunami threats, volcano events, fires, flooding, presidential visit support, law enforcement agency activities, VIP state and federal government officials, visits from foreign officials, transportation of military honor guards for departed veterans and retirees, EOD events, search and rescue. We also supported operations at Johnston Atoll until its closure and Midway Island. Overseas operations and deployments include duty in Djibouti, Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Seychelles, Pakistan, Colombia, and Afghanistan. During Operation Enduring Freedom, detachment aircrew members performed combat operations in a composite unit comprised of soldiers and aircrew members from several states. This unit's mission was called Odin, Observe, Detect, Identify, and Neutralize. Our crew members flew highly modified civilian Beechcraft King Air 300s that were used to conduct 5 to 6 hour ISR missions 24/7 over the mountainous terrain of Afghanistan. Tragically, in the early hours of 10 January 2014, Hawaii lost one of our own, Sergeant Drew Scobie, and 2 fellow crew members when their aircraft went down while returning to Bagram from their combat mission in eastern Afghanistan. During subsequent deployments to Afghanistan, our air crews flew the C-26E for operational support missions throughout the region. So here we are today, 2020, to recognize Detachment 3's C-12 aircraft during this dedication ceremony. I would also like to congratulate the detachment in the manner that they successfully transported their new C-12 aircraft across the Pacific this past August on the deck of Navy amphibious assault ship USS Essex. That's thinking outside the box. Good job, Det 3. In closing, thanks for asking me to be a part of this event. I'll be looking forward to seeing your C-12 in action and wish Det 3 success in all future challenges, operations, and adventures. Thank you.
Thank you, Gus. And now I'd like to welcome the commander of Det 3, Charlie Company 2nd, 641st, seated before Dean Kozel.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, General Hara, and distinguished guests. It is an honor to be here today representing Detachment 3, Charlie Company, 2nd of the 641st Aviation Regiment, and the blessing of the Hawaii Army National Guard's newly assigned C-12 King Air. The C-12 is an all-weather utility aircraft that can be configured to transport a combination of up to 7 passengers or up to 1,400 pounds of cargo in support of airlift missions within the state of Hawaii. With an average true airspeed of approximately 250 knots, the C-12 can fly passengers from here to Hilo in just under an hour. The C-12 serves as a joint operational support airlift solution for the Department of Defense and can be tasked to provide civil support for the state of Hawaii's emergency response to man-made or natural disasters. In addition, the C-12 provides cost-effective fixed-wing training for Army National Guard aviators, while simultaneously executing operational support airlift missions. This dynamic improves readiness and ensures that air crews remain ready for future deployments under Title 10, Title 32, or state active duty. The C-12 detachments serve as an integral part of OSACOM, the Operational Support Airlift Command, which provides scalable Army fixed-wing solutions for worldwide deployments in response to global, national, and state contingencies. In addition to serving as a flexible solution for OSACOM, The C-12 detachments support JOSAC, the Joint Operational Support Airlift Center, which conducts worldwide priority air transport of senior leaders, DoD executives, congressional delegations, and combatant commanders. These priority air transports are sometimes referred to as PACT. When you combine the acronym PACT with the tail number of our C-12, we obtain our call sign. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you PAT 087. Mahalo.
Thank you, Mr. Kozel. At this time, I would like to invite Kahu Kekoa to offer his blessing to Pat 087.
Thank you, sir. Mahalo for all that great information to share with us today. You know, as PAC 087 joins its cousin aircrafts here in our Guard, she has a very important role, as everything you have just heard for us to share today. And so she has found her home here on Oahu, and as her wheels are on her home turf, she is not designed just to sit on the island of Oahu, but her task, her mission, is to travel throughout the state. And so today what we want to make sure is that she is prepared for her mission as we are also prepared for our mission. So we're going to use some elements of our Hawaiian culture to bring her to her Hawaiian roots now today. And the first thing I'm going to use is that beautiful mailele you see draped across the nose of this aircraft. That beautiful mailele blends all of us together. And so that beautiful mailele, in just a few seconds, we're actually going to untie it. It's kind of like an umbilical cord. We're bringing birth to her here in her new mission. I'm also going to use some good fresh rainwater. This rainwater fell from the sky about 25 years ago. In the year 1995 is about when this water fell from the sky all along the Ko'olau mountain range. We'll place it right upon her. Also, our four distinguished guests will also be a part of placing their handprint upon her, using this good fresh rainwater. And as they do that, their handprint are going to be upon PAC 087. Now that water will dry. Even as much as we try to polish her and keep her clean, your handprint will always be upon this aircraft for the good work that you have done. 2 years to get us to this day. And now she joins all her cousin aircraft that is a part of our fleet. I'm also going to use these tea leaves. I'm also going to use my baibala. And all of these elements of our Hawaiian culture will bring her to life here in her new mission in our Hawaii Army Guard.
We would now like to invite Major General Hara, Lieutenant Colonel Cadiz, CW4 Kozel, and CW5 Gustafsson to join Kahu Kekoa for the blessing and untying of the mailele.
E ke akua mai, e ho'okipa mai, e malama mai. Mahalo ia wai no ko launa puna mai me mako I ke ala, o e ko mako haku, a me ko mako ola. Ke akua everything, this tip from nose to tail. We ask Aloha Spirit to be pono now and forevermore. As all that wind travels across her plains, may Aloha Spirit be pono now and forevermore. Amene no kia kua pau. Amene, amene, amene. E ho'ohiole o ko ia Yehova e na aina a pau. E malama ia Yehova me ka hauoli. E hele aku I mua ona me ka oli ana. Ua mai kai o Yehova. Ua mauloa kona loko mai kai. A me kona oia I o. I hanau na apa. Aloha e, aloha e, aloha e. Again, kia koa, as Pack 087 has found her home, may Aloha Spirit be pono, now and forevermore. So for the four of you, as I've mentioned, I'm going to put some water on your hands. You know, we're not the ones that designed this aircraft, but we will be the ones to make sure that she completes her mission and she does what she was designed to do. So as I put that water on your right hand, I'd like you to think of mission that you completed successfully. It doesn't have to be military. Maybe you taught your son how to ride a bicycle and he loves riding his bike now. Anything that you have done successfully in your life, we're placing all that po'okela, all of that excellence inside of Pack 87 and every other aircraft that we use for this purpose. Again, kia koa, use this vai, may Aloha Spirit be pono, now and forevermore. When you have your water, just hang on a second and then place that water right upon her. Again, your Aloha Spirit to be pono, now and forevermore. We bring goodness of life, goodness of all of our airmen, goodness of all of our folks that are part of our Army National Guard of Hawaiʻi. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. When you're ready, go ahead.
As they place their hand on the aircraft, and as the official party unties the mailile, it symbolizes the end of Pat 087's long journey from the mainland and ushers in the next chapter of Army fixed-wing capability for the state of Hawaii. On behalf of the members of the Hawaii Army National Guard aviation community, past, present, and future, thank you all for your efforts in completing this vision. Now please remain standing for the benediction by Kahu Kekoa and the playing of the Army song.
E puli kako, mahalo oi no ko launa puna mai me ma ko I kia la, mahalo kia kua, kia wa'a. Kia koa me Aloha Spirit, as we have now blended her into her new family. Kia koa, mahalo for our time together of just asking your Aloha Spirit into all that we do in Hawaiʻi and all that we do as a part of the military of the United States of America. We pule this blessing. Every air mile that she flies, every person, every cargo that is within her. Mahalo for our time to celebrate that today. We pule with much aloha. Amen e no kia koa apau. Amen. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you all again for joining us here and online. Aloha.